Hey, welcome back. Cheskiefer from Y&I Recording Academy. Today, we're going to be talking about 3 easy ways to add guitar into your tracks without actually having to play guitar. So, producers and non-guitarists, this one's for you. Let's jump in. So, I'm in Logic for today, and I got this loop just loaded up just to give us a vibe. This is what it sounds like. All right, so the first way to add guitar into your tracks is using a virtual instrument, but not just any virtual instruments that you just play on your keyboard, the notes. I'm talking about a virtual instrument that actually has pre-recorded loops and will play the loops in the chord and the scale and the key of your song based on the chords that you give it. So this is sometimes known as a session virtual instrument, and Native Instruments is really great at making some of these. So the one I have pulled up here is a in Contact. It's called Session Guitarist Picked Acoustic. So they have strummed acoustic, they have electric sunburst, electric mint, they have bass, they have drums, they have plenty of session virtual instruments. And a virtual instrument basically has a bunch of preloaded loops, a bunch of preloaded settings, and you get to pick that. As you can see, I could cycle through certain settings over here, and if I play a chord on my keyboard, and we had sound, it will play that chord. If I play a different chord, and I could cycle through all the different loops and decide which one I like the best. And the one I picked for this project is called Funky Mutes A, and it sounds like this. So I just went ahead and I recorded a chord sequence, and this is what it sounds like with that little loop that we had in the beginning. Such an easy way to get really professional sounding guitars into your project. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is the classic virtual instrument, just playing notes on the keyboard. And for this, I usually don't use for rhythm because rhythm ends up sounding not so great when you play it on the keyboard. So it doesn't sound amazing. So what I do is use this in an instance that I want to add lead lines, harmony lines, stuff like that. So played a really basic over here in the project. And you can go to town with this. This is obviously very simple, but you can go to town with this and really customize the lead lines and harmony lines and fill-ins of your guitar tracks. The last way to add guitars into your productions without actually playing guitar is to use a guitar loop. Now, the problem with guitar loops is that usually you get a loop and that's the chord, and it has a bunch of chords in it, or it has one chord, or whatever it is. You're stuck with those chords, and there's nothing really you could do about it. So that's why we use this session guitarist, because we were able to edit the chords and it would play whatever chords that we were inputting into the VST. The problem with loops is that you can't really do that. So how do we work around this? Because sometimes you'll come across a loop that you really don't want to pass up, and this is how you get around this. I downloaded a loop from Splice, and this is originally what it sounded like. So you see I have a bunch of chords. So what I went ahead and did was found each chord once by itself. So I'm going to listen through and find where one chord is before it switches to the next one. So already the second half of the first bar is the next chord. So I'm just going to break that apart. And since each of my chords in my session is one bar, I'm going to loop this first chord to be one bar. The next thing I'm going to do is find a major and a minor. So this is the major that I have here. Now I'm going to go ahead and find in the loop a minor chord. So that would be the minor. So I'm just going to isolate that part. And I'm going to delete everything else. Then I'll go ahead and I'll extend this minor chord out also. So now we have a major and a minor chord. Then what I did is I laid it out in the track that I made, And since I knew the chords, I knew that Splice gave it to me in D major. So in order for it to be C major, I took down the major chord down by 2. So I transposed it -2s to give me that C major. Then I knew the next chord for me was a D minor, and I knew that the minor chord that I selected from the loop was a B minor. So I just have to transpose it up 3 to get a D minor. And then I did this so on and so forth for the rest of my chords. And now, if I play my session guitar with this loop guitar, you'll see that the chords actually do match up. And play it with the loop. We got a nice track going. Let's play it with the lead as well. So that's all I got for today. I really hope this helped you out with adding some realistic sounding guitars into your productions, and stick around for some more. If you want a free home studio gear guide, you're not sure how to upgrade your studio or start your studio, what to buy, how to buy, I got a list that puts together all the different equipment that you need to start a home studio in any budget that you might have. So go ahead and download that. That's right in the description, and stick around for some more.